I saw him head back, kind of mouth open. And I just said to him, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Nothing, Ma, nothing." And I'm like, "Steph, are you using heroin?" And he said, "You don't want to know." And I said, "I already know."
This is Last Day, a new podcast from Lemonada Media about the things that are killing us. And I'm your host, Stephanie Wittels Wachs.
In your head, you're saying, I'm not going to use, and then you use. It was the most mystifying thing to me in my life, why I couldn't control my own behavior.
I'm sure you guys both noticed, just passed someone cooking up heroin with a needle in their mouth as we were walking over here between the fire department and the prison.
Sometimes we'll go for the same patient 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. They do everything they can for them. They wake them back up, they get them to the hospital, and then they walk back out.
We're trying to understand the why and the how of America's most massive epidemics by zooming in on one person's story. More specifically, their last day.
I don't know what on earth he was thinking when he decided this was his next step in life. And I think for those of us left behind, you're constantly trying to find out, what could I have done differently?
This show is an attempt to figure that out. Our first season will be talking about opioids because, unfortunately, it's the epidemic I know best. My little brother, Harris Wittels, comedian and beloved human, died of a heroin overdose in 2015.
He said, "You're not going to believe this. I'm in rehab for shooting actual heroin." And it was just, I couldn't believe it. I don't know. I just said, "Oh my God, I love you." And, you know.
We talked to policymakers, harm reductionists, addiction specialists, people on the ground.
This one woman literally has a needle in her arm and looks up at us. And the uniformed officer says, "What are you doing?" Insight's just around the corner. And she goes, "Yeah, it's 8 a.m. They don't open yet." And he said, "It's summer hours. They open at 7 a.m. And they all stood up and they took the needle and they walked around the corner and into the facility. And he goes, "We want them to get inside and we want them to get help."
We talked to families.
He was describing the demons inside of him in such a way that it really brought the hairs on my neck to stand up. And he knew it was in control of his life and he couldn't stop what he was doing.
I keep telling him, if you stay in Boston, you're going to die. He said, no, Pam, I'm clean. I said, no, nobody's clean from heroin.
And we look for hope.
The misperception for people that don't work in substance use disorder treatment programs is that it is overwhelming tragedy. And the opposite is true. It is like overwhelmingly, joyously seeing people grab their lives back from substance use disorders.
This is the dream. But we're not there yet. Not even close. Because there are so many people like me who have lost people like Harris, or people who are currently agonizing over the possibility of losing someone like Harris, or people who are currently feeling like Harris. And all of these people and their people's people have nowhere to put those big feelings. They don't know what to do or where to go or how to stop the bleeding. If you are a human being, which I have to assume that you are, then Last Day, coming September 25th, is a podcast for you. Subscribe today on Apple or wherever you get your podcasts.